Please, if we have any questions along the line, please do let me know. Okay, so can you see my screen now where I have Power Virtual Agents?
Yes, I can see it.
I can see your slide.
All right, thank you very much. All right, so basically our agenda for today, we'll just go through a quick introduction, try and discuss what Power Virtual Agents is all about, the components of Power Virtual Agents. Then we'll do a little bit of class, just a little class exercise, just to check how far we've learned for today. Then we'll build our first chatbot. So now, a quick introduction on Power Virtual Agents. So basically, Power Virtual Agents are like chatbots.
Sorry to cut you. I don't know if it's from my end. I can see your slide, but not in presentation mode.
Oh, please, can any other person see it?
Okay.
I've exited presentation mode. I'm back to presentation mode.
I don't know if you're using multiple screens.
And I'm actually sharing just this window.
Okay, so we can't see the presentation mode. We can only see the slides.
Okay.
That's where you create them.
All right, and I'll fix that just a
Okay.
moment. I unshared. I'll just share again and try to share the PowerPoints directly. Okay, can you let me know if you can see it now in presentation mode?
Yes, I can.
All right, great. Thank you very much. Okay, so very quickly, I'll just go back to. Okay, so we can see the introduction slides now, right?
Yes.
All right.
No, I can't.
Oh, okay. What can you see?
You can just see this arrow 0 of 0, stop presenting.
Oh, I'll suggest that you'd probably leave and rejoin.
Okay, all right.
Because
Okay.
I can see Power Virtual Agents, like the introduction slide, first slide.
Okay, any difference?
No.
All right, let me just leave the meeting and join again.
No, not you, please. Not you. It's fine here. I can see your slide. I can see introduction.
Okay, please, can every other person
I can see the slide too.
Oh, okay, great.
So I think it's from that person's end. I don't know who the person is.
Okay, Ife, can you see it now?
Oh, it was Ife.
Yes, I think it was Ife.
She has to rejoin, like leave and rejoin.
Okay. All right. Okay, so I'll just continue. See. Okay, I think she already left. Trying to rejoin. Okay, so basically, I was saying Power Virtual Agents are basically chatbots, right? That are able to adapt to our need for artificial intelligence. So Power Virtual Agents is like the platform. You create chatbots Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I
Yes,
can
I
hear
can hear
you,
you.
but your slide
Wait,
has
wait.
disappeared.
Yes, I just noticed too. Okay, let me probably share my entire screen and see if that makes it better. Can you see it in presentation mode now?
Yes, I can.
All right, thank you. Okay, this is fine then. Please just let me know in case you are trying to raise your hand to ask a question and I don't respond, you can just cut me short and actually ask, because I won't be able to see like the Teams screen from here, so I wouldn't know if you drop a message or if you try to raise your hand. So you can just unmute and say something, please. So okay, so I was trying to explain what Power Virtual Agent is all about. So basically, Power Virtual Agent bots makes use of artificial intelligence. It helps you to build like a chat interface where customers or users can actually enter some information or enter some details in order to get specific information. So basically, why should I use Power Virtual Agent? So it's much simpler. So we do know that ordinarily when you think of chatbots, or when you think of a chatbot, in your mind you're like, it just sounds complicated. Like you need to write some complicated codes, you need a team of developers just to make that work. But yeah, Power Virtual Agent makes it much easier, that you just have an interface that you can easily customize, and then you have your chatbot up and running. So you don't necessarily have to be a developer in order to create a chatbot. You don't have to know code in that sense to create a chatbot. It just brings this very, very easy interface for you to use without writing code. You're still able to link. I'm sure we've talked about connectors when you went through Power Automate and Power Apps. So I'm sure you know what connectors are. So this makes it easier. You can even still use a whole lot of the pre-built connectors that we already have. You can connect them to your chatbot as well. You can connect Power Automate. So really, it just makes this really, really easy for you. It integrates AI, and then also you get to use data-driven insights, and just integrates all of this and makes it pretty easy to get a chatbot up and running. So now what exactly is Power Virtual Agent? So Power Virtual Agent, I can call it a tool that would definitely allow your team to create powerful chatbots. Yes, it's guided, which means it follows specific principles. There are guidelines to creating chatbots, but you don't need code. And then the interface in which you create your chatbot is quite graphical. So you can actually see how your chatbot is running from one stage to another. So I would explain further the components of chatbots in maybe later, after now. So also I'd like us to watch a very quick video that just explains what this chatbot is about. So now we all know that in a standard organization, you probably have an IT team, and even within your IT team, you probably have several sub teams that perform several functions. So you can have a team that is specifically for AI. You can have another team that is specifically for application development. You can have one other team that maybe just helps with system configurations and things like that. So now Power Virtual Agent actually saves you the energy of having a group of developers to come write some sets of codes that would work together in order for you to achieve the chatbot functionality. Each team member can actually create a chatbot by themselves. They can just sit in front of their computers and create a chatbot. They don't necessarily need the developers in order to create chatbots. They don't need to know any form of sophisticated coding in order to create the chatbots. Also, it reduces the amount of work. So perhaps I'm not totally ruling out the fact that they might still need a team of developers for other functions. So it just gives that team of developers time to do other jobs, so they can do other things, but they will not be required to do the Power Virtual Agents, because of course it's something anybody can learn and do on their own. So I'll just I think I'll have to stop sharing and reshare my screen because I want us to watch the video. I have to go back to Teams. Sorry. Sorry, I have a couple of tabs open. Okay, so I'll just pick out that video so we can just watch. It just also gives an overview of Power Virtual Agents. Actually, should have this open somewhere.
By now, you've probably heard of virtual agents.
Okay, so I'll be sharing my screen again. So, okay, please let me know if you can hear anything.
By now, you've probably heard of virtual agents. Those amazing little bots that have, well, virtually transformed
Can hear.
Yes.
But have you heard of Power Virtual Agents? They're new from Microsoft. And what makes them so powerful, you ask? Well, they're even easier to use for all kinds of things beyond just customer service. You can use them for HR, sales, any domain or channel imaginable. Virtually anywhere you want to engage customers. On the web, Skype, Facebook, Power Apps, you name it. You can build a Power Virtual Agent for that. They're super easy to build too. Anyone can do it. There's no code to get started, no AI expertise needed, and you can be up and running in minutes. But if you want to add code or, say, some more complex capabilities, Microsoft's Cognitive Services and Bot Framework is just a few clicks away, so you can go as deep as you like. And because they're already integrated with Microsoft's Power Platform, you can use hundreds of pre-built connectors, so your bot can talk to your back-end systems with just a few clicks, or easily add capabilities, like using Microsoft Power Automate to call an API. Lastly, they're powerfully smart, learning every day and using AI to suggest new topics to build as users interact with it. So, ready to make your own Power Virtual Agent? Just head on over to aka.ms/trypva and try it free for a limited time and unlock what's next.
Okay, so that was like, excuse me, that was a quick overview of Power Virtual Agents. I'll just go back to the slides. I'll close this and just go back to my slides. Okay, so now there are different ways you can actually make use of Power Virtual Agents. So I already spoke about empowering your team, which means allowing each team member to be able to build their own chatbots without needing a team of developers or having in-depth knowledge about AI and coding. So that's one way. So Power Virtual Agents could also help you to reduce cost because, so for instance, let's take the customer service as an example. So imagine you have or you need, maybe in a standard organization, assuming you need 5 people or five customer service staff. When you have a chatbot and you're able to automate a part of that process where the first interfacing that customers have to do with your organization, they can go through the bot. The bot already has answers for some of the questions, so they might not necessarily to even go to a physical person. So that way you definitely need less people. You can have maybe two people that would handle situations that maybe the bot doesn't cover or the bot cannot handle and needs an actual person to handle. So that way you would have reduced the cost of employment of or the cost of employing five people to it would have reduced to like two people. So that would also help you reduce cost. Then also it optimizes the self-help system. So this way, customers at any point in time can always go to the chatbot and maybe ask questions. You don't necessarily have to. So you don't necessarily have to. So it's sort of tied to the part of having staff. So just in a case where you have five people doing night duty and five people doing daytime duty, so this way you can actually reduce the number of people that will be because this chatbot is going to be available like 24/7, going to be available round the clock, and is going to be able to resolve issues very, very quickly. Next, we'll go to the components of the Power Virtual Agent. So what the basically the different parts that we have to the Power Virtual Agent. Oh, sorry, we'll look at the highlights first before we go to the components. So get started in seconds. Like it's really quick. It's a software as a service. So it's really quick to get started. Once you go to now I believe you have a Microsoft account. So all you need to do is sign into Power Virtual Agent and boom, you're already getting yourself started. You just need to say, okay, create a bot, and then you can start customizing anyhow you like to. So also, Power Virtual Agents would help you to have rich and natural conversations. So it's almost going to look like you're chatting with an actual person and not even a bot. So I'll just show you. I think there's an example here. Yes. So you can see this. It says so this part is when um, a customer trying to chat with a bot or a user rather trying to chat with a bot. So it says, "What can I help you with today?" And then the person asks, "What are the stores around me?" And then the bot says, "Oh, I'm glad to help find a store near you. What location are you interested in?" So the person puts in their location and then boom, immediately you can see it all says just now, just now, just now, which means it's in a matter of seconds. So it's really, really fast. And then it has this natural conversation. So now it also, as I explained earlier, it empowers the subject matter expert. So it empowers your team members or really anybody who would want to create a system to interface with user without actual humans. So it also enables the chatbot to take action. This is by integrating it with Power Automate. So basically, you can actually add Power Automate to your chatbot such that the Power Automate can maybe so imagine a user logs in and then once the user logs in, it automatically triggers a Power Automate that goes to get more details about this user and passes it back to your chatbot. So this is also possible using the Power Virtual Agents. So you can also monitor your chatbot and then improve the performance. It has an analytics interface. So I'll show you all of this on the Power Virtual Agent page when we are doing the practice or when we are building our first chatbot. So we can have like we have an analytics page that shows you various things. So you can see it shows engagement over time. It tells you like number of people that have engaged with your board. It shows you the sessions and the outcomes of each session. It tries to tell you like, okay, this is how fast your bot is. You could see that it has the customer satisfaction part, which tells you, oh, how satisfied are your customers after using this chatbot. So from all of these insights, you'd be able to make changes to your bot in order to improve the customer experience or customer satisfaction. Please, do we have any questions so far? Can we still hear me? And do we have any questions so far? Hello?
Yeah, Rachel, I can hear you.
No question.
Oh, no questions so far. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your response. So yeah, we have better together. Of course. What's a team without performing tasks together? So actually, the Power Virtual Agents is in such a way that more than one person can actually um, create different parts of the bot. So when we go to components of Power Virtual Agent, I'll explain that better. So basically, we have something called topics. So let's assume I have a colleague named Ray. So I can build topic one and Ray can build topic two. And these two topics will be in the same chatbot and would make up the chatbot, which would work together while customers or users are trying to use this chatbot. So yeah, it allows also for collaboration of tasks. So it doesn't have to be one person that builds the chatbot all through. It actually allows, yeah, more than one person to build. So now components of the Power Virtual Agents. So while we are making use of Power Virtual Agents to build bots, you definitely will author and edit different topics. Now topics are like separate conversation or conversational parts that are combined within one chatbot. So let me try and explain. So for instance, we have something that is called the greeting topic. I'll show you this as well. So the greeting topic is basically is usually the start topic of most Power Virtual Agent bots. Most, not all, it's not compulsory. So in the grid topic, you have something like you have phrases like hi, hello, good morning. So these are basically things that people would most likely say first of all that would make the bot to trigger and actually start working. So now you can go to maybe a chatbot interface and say hi. Next thing you might hear, okay, or the chatbot might type hello peace, and then what would you like me to help you with today? So basically a topic is like one tree that has, you know, the way you have Power Automate and you have different cards. A topic is like a Power Automate flow, right? That has like different parts and different stages to it. But the difference here is that in Power Virtual Agent topics, topics are referred to other topics. So I can be in topic one, and maybe what the user is asking for is in topic two. Because it uses AI, that's the bot already knows that, oh, the information this user is looking for is in topic two. So it automatically navigates to topic two and starts running topic two. So basically, that's what topics are. I would show this better when we're doing practical session. So now there are actually various options in controlling how the topics are going to react or interact with the user and how the discussion is going to go. So as I was saying, it's easy to actually test your chatbot. You don't. So yes, if you want others to use your chatbot, you would need to publish it. But in the interface where you get to build your chatbot, it's really easy to test it. Once you make a change, on the left hand side, you see an interface where you can actually type in messages in order to test your chatbot. So it's pretty easy. You also have the opportunity of selecting what language you'd like your chatbot to be in. So yes, our chatbot is not always in English. You can decide you want to have a French chatbot, maybe because your users are French, or you want a Spanish chatbot. All of that are available. You can use different languages for your chatbot. So now, the first we have on our list when it comes to the components of chatbots is topics. So now, topics are like topics are basically, I would say, they are like the building blocks of any chatbot. Without you really would not have a Power Virtual Agent chatbot without a topic. So topics are like those minute building blocks that come together to make the chatbot. Now, you can decide to build your topic from scratch, but they are also pre-built. So anytime you create a chatbot, it always contains a couple of pre-built chatbots and system chatbots. Some of those system chatbots you cannot make changes to. Some of them you actually can edit here and there. But system chatbots are not chatbots created by you. They are definitely chatbots that came inbuilt when you create a chatbot. So now I have something here that says, so if a user types open hours into the chatbot, the AI now we enable it to match to the store hours topic. So we have different topics. So now based on the user input, the chatbot automatically using artificial intelligence, the chatbot automatically knows what topic to navigate the user through based on what they type in. So now when you create a chatbot, as I said, a number of topics will automatically get created for you. So also when you create a chatbot, you have 4 pre-populated user topics. So these ones are not system topics per se, but they also come when you create a new chatbot. Then system topics are those ones that are created by the system. Those ones are system topics. Most of them are not necessarily editable. So sometimes you might just need these system topics in order to have certain functionalities in your chatbot. So you can also turn a topic off or on, same way you can turn your Power Automate on off or on. You can also turn a topic off and on. But when you turn a topic off, you know that it's not going to work. So if a user enter in a phrase that is supposed to trigger that topic, is not going to work because it's turned off. So I think we can go to the next one. Okay, so other components of a chatbot, we also have entities. So entity basically is an information unit that can represent a certain type of real world data, like subjects, like a real world data. It can be like a phone number, it can be a name, it can be a city, it can be literally almost anything. So basically, you have something like age, you have something like email. For instance, email has a specific kind of format. So all of these things are called entities in Power Virtual Agents. So now entities also, we have a couple of pre-built entities that come with your chatbot, but there are some occasions where you need new kind of entities. You can also create entities and build entities to use in your chatbot. We also have the action. Action here basically Power Automate. So action is when you call a Power Automate from your Power Virtual Agent. So there are two ways. So it's either you just want to send out information, maybe you want to perform some actions. You can send that information to Power Automate to perform those actions. Excuse me, and that is it. Or if you need, so it can go two ways. It can be that you just want the Power Automate to perform actions and that is all. It could also be that you want the Power Automate to perform some actions and bring back feedback into Power Virtual Agent. that is also possible with Action. I'll show you how after now. So publishing is one very, very, very important component of Power Virtual Agent, because you can build a superb Power Virtual Agent. If you don't publish, then it's going to be pretty useless, because you're not going to be able to use it outside of the interface in which you built it. So you can use Power Virtual Agents, create bots, and then you can publish it across various platforms and channels. So this would mean you can publish your bots in Teams, you can publish it outside, you can even publish it on Facebook, really. You can publish your Power Virtual Agents almost anywhere. So you can use it on your live websites. Basically, you can use out. I think I would show how you can add it to Teams for the scope of today's class. I'll try to, I hope we have enough time so I can show you that. Then you can also connect your Power Virtual Agents to other channels after publishing. You can link it up with a live chat as well. It has a live chat component. You can link it up with that using Microsoft Dynamics 365 omnichannels. So basically, so one thing that is important to know is that once you're done creating your Power Virtual Agents, it's really important that each time you go to publish, you republish what you've created, or after making changes, it's important you publish, so that these changes can also be reflected on all of these platforms that you've added your Power Virtual Agents bots to. So now you can also sign in on any OAuth 2 identity providers such as Azure Active Directory, your Microsoft account, your Facebook, by configuring Power Virtual Agents to provide. So it has some level of authentication capabilities also. Once you've configured this, then you can sign in with any identity provider, OAuth 2 identity provider. So yes, it's time for a little classwork. So the first question we have here is, what is a benefit to using Power Virtual Agents? So we have improved customer satisfaction, we have requires more time than regular customer chats, we have doesn't use AI to understand users' intent. So please, who would like to answer this question? Also note that I can't see my Teams screen right now, so you can just unmute your mic and answer.
Satisfaction.
Sorry?
Improve customer satisfaction.
Correct.
Improve customer satisfaction.
Yes. So definitely a benefit of using Power Virtual Agents would be to improve customer satisfaction. So the next question says, what defines how a chatbot conversation plays out? So is it publishing? Is it the topics? Is it entities? Which one of these do you think defines how the conversation plays out? Anybody?
I was thinking in topics. I don't know if I'm correct.
Sorry, I can't hear you clearly.
Okay, sorry. I said topics. I don't know if it's correct.
Yeah, you're correct. It's actually topics. So it's topics that actually, because topic is, as I said, topic is like the building block of Power Virtual Agent. So it's the topic that would actually determine how the chatbot conversation plays out. So where our last question is, where can you not publish a chatbot? Microsoft Teams, Facebook, YouTube.
YouTube.
I'll choose YouTube.
YouTube.
Yes,
YouTube.
yes. We are all correct. It's YouTube. So you can't publish as at right now. It's possible that they implement that in the future, but as at right now, you cannot publish on YouTube. But you
Why?
can.
Why, please?
So I think right now we don't. There's no infrastructure to actually integrate with YouTube, but there is there is the proper infrastructure to connect to Microsoft Teams. or to Facebook, but not YouTube yet.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so I think this is the point where we start or create our first chatbot. I'll just, okay, so here I am on Power Virtual Agents. So do we all have a Microsoft account to go through with this so that we can actually be doing this side by side?
But if we're doing it side by side, okay, if for example, if I open a page, I will not be seeing what you are doing. So how will I do that?
You can actually try to like minimize, like it might be a bit more inconveniencing though, but
Okay.
like maybe side by side like this, and I'll
How
just
did you do that?
so you can just minimize here.
Oh,
So if I do this, the minus sign will take it off, but sorry. Let me stop what I was looking for. So you can actually resize. If you click here, you see an arrow. You can make it smaller or you can make it bigger. So you can have two of them side by side and actually be looking at what we're doing and be doing yours. Reason being that sometimes when you just watch and then you try to do it later, you may have missed out some steps or things like that. But you can always also go back to the video because it's recorded and it will be posted on the YouTube channel. So you can also always go back to the video in case you missed out any step and you're trying to do it on your own later.
Sorry, where did you say we should go to?
So if you have a Microsoft account, you can just go to powervirtualagents.microsoft.com and sign in. I'll paste it on the group on the chat. Okay, so I don't see the chat. Okay. So I'll just paste it. I pasted it on the chat window.
Are you too? Baby, give her the pistol. There's nothing serious to pack.
Okay. Okay, let me share my screen again. I stopped sharing. Share again. Okay, please, can we see my screen now?
Yes, I can.
All right, thank you very much. So I'll just sign in. But also, before we continue, please, if you have any questions, just let me know. So I'm signing in. It's loading. Aha. It says, so what account is it trying to? Okay, so I've actually not signed into Power Virtual Agents on this particular account before. I've been using my other accounts. So if it brings up this interface just like mine, you can choose your country. I'll choose Nigeria and say get started. So it says, so now I want to create a chatbot. And I'm just going to name chatbot Lily. What language? So when I mentioned earlier that you can make your bot speak any language that is listed here. So for instance, unfortunately, we don't have all the languages listed here. So we are limited to just choices that are listed here. So I'll just speak English and
Hello,
then
sorry.
I'll say, yeah,
Please, I have a question.
yes, please go on.
Is it possible to make a chatbot to be a multilingual chatbot?
So right now you have to pick one language.
Okay.
Yeah. Right now it has to be one language because the language you pick here is what your chatbot will eventually speak after you create it. So I'll just click create. So this usually takes a couple of minutes. Okay, so it's loading. So now you can see it says we are still building your bot. It could take up to 5 minutes to get everything ready. While we work, feel free to chat with the test bots, trace your conversation, check out conversation topics. So we can just explore the bots. It's still building Lily for us, but we'll just explore while it's building that for us. So now this is my chat interface. So usually in most websites you just see one little just a little thing here that says chat, and then you click it and then you see like a chat interface. Yeah, so now our bot has been fully created. That's why it's reloading. Okay, so we have Lily. So I mentioned earlier that we have pre-built topics. So now I would say, for instance, I'll say hello. I know we've not built anything in chatbot yet, but because it comes with some pre-built topics, so it already has some level of functionality already working, created for us. So now it says, "Hi, I'm a virtual agent. I can help you with account questions, other store information, and more. If you'd like to speak to a human agent, let me know at any time." So now I can say something else, maybe other. Sorry, did I type? Oh, yes. He said, "I'm happy to help you with your order. To what state would you be shipping?" Let me see. So it might not recognize this. Okay, let me use some other states. Let me say Lagos. It might not, I'm not sure it will recognize this. Yep, it will tell you it does not understand because definitely this wasn't built for this scenario. So if you had picked maybe one of the states for the country this was built, then it would work. So now we'll just go through some of the components that I explained earlier. One of them was topics. So we'll go to the topics and see what topics we have here. So now you can see these first 1, 2, 3, 4, as mentioned earlier. These are normal topics. These other ones are system topics. These ones are user topics. These are system topics. So now we'll just go through Sorry, I think someone is not muted. Just a moment.
Please, you can continue. I've muted the person.
All right, thank you. Okay, so now lesson 1 says a simple topic. So now these are trigger phrases. This trigger phrases says when are you closed, when are you open, store hours. So now let me show you how a typical topic works. So just like we have in Power Automate automated flows, that we have an event that triggers the flow. For instance, you can say when an email is received, when an item is created, different triggers. That's the same way we have triggers for Power Virtual Agents. But in this case, these are called trigger phrases, and they are basically a set of phrases that a user would type in here that would cause this particular topic to be triggered. So let's look at this one. So what you want to do is to always, especially when you're editing your bot, you always want to track between topics so that now we are in a simple topic. So that when it jumps to another topic based on the requirements or based on what the user types in, so you're able to see how it works, that, oh, it's gone to another topic. So let's just look at how this thing works. So for instance, I would say store hours, right? You can see store hours is in our trigger phrase here. I'm going to click enter. So can you see that? Can you see it? It jumps to end of conversation. You can see it went to another topic. So it was so fast. If you did not look very well, you might not have seen how it ran through. So I'll just go back to the other topic. Yep, I'll go back to this one. I can still navigate, but you can see it shows green, 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 which means, and a tick on the right here, which means it ran through this topic. So you can see that this end here is calling another topic, which is end of conversation, which is why it automatically jumped into the next topic. So now you can see, now we entered store hours, which is a trigger phrase. And one thing you need to note is that it doesn't, so trigger phrases, it doesn't have to be the exact word. So now if I had entered perhaps store days, it probably would have still given the same, it would have still behaved the same way. So basically it looks for phrases that are very similar to your trigger phrases, and then it runs based on all of those phrases. So yeah, we have 4. It doesn't mean that maybe, for instance, now if I have when are you closed, and maybe because this C is caps or this U is not going, it will still trigger this very topic. So it also uses AI to such a way that it is not just exactly what we have in trigger phrase that is going to trigger this. Related phrases would also trigger this. So now you can see that it was already pre-programmed that any time we enter any trigger phrase that is related to these trigger phrases already here, it should tell you, I am happy to help with store hours. Then this message means it's just displaying a message. This other one says the Redmond hours are this. The Seattle hours are this. So, and then it goes to end the conversation and it skips to another topic. So now would create a would adjust some of these things, or we'll create a topic of our own where I'm going to be able to show you how to decide what to use. So now I'll just go to previous page. So you can see that this one has separate different sets of trigger phrases. Really, it can be anything you want based on what you're trying to achieve. So this one is, are there any stores around the area? store location. So basically this one is talking about store location. So it says, I'll be glad.
How did you get to this place where you are now?
So basically you can be on homepage rather. You just need to go to topics, then you select any topic. So I selected this lesson 2.
Okay, you have moved to lesson 2 now.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So now lesson 2 now, I can see the trigger phrases. I can see that this is just a message. This one now is a question. You can see, so there are different types of components you can use inside of a topic. This one is a message, which means it's just going to display a message. So this one now is a question rather. So it asks a question, then you can give them options if you want. Then you get to save the response that the customer is giving. So which means when you ask which location are you interested in, see it up here. Sorry, this is different. This is another topic, but I'll get to that. So okay, I know what to do. So let's just say store near me, so it triggers this very topic, so we can see it in action. So it automatically says, I'll be glad to help you find a store near you. Then it also asks me the question, what location are you interested in? Right? So now you can see that these 3 options given here are the same thing that is showing here. So now when I answer and say, so I can click on either of these 3 buttons. So if I say Redmond, right, it automatically saves my response, and then based on my response it also navigates somewhere else. You see it has come to another topic, which is end of conversation. So now what I'm going to do, I'll click on this. You see, when I clicked on this, it came back to the previous topic. So you can actually, I'm doing this way so that we see how the flow is working. So this topic, this whole string of different messages and all, is called a tree. So you can see how it flows from this trigger phrase to the message to the question. So now after a question, you have like condition based on what the response is. So we gave 3. This is not an open-ended question where the user can answer whatever they like. We have given the user 3 different options to pick from. So now what this simply means is that if I pick Redmond, or if the user picks Redmond, what should we do? If the user picks Seattle, what should be the next option? So that's basically what these conditions here are. So it means this first condition is when, so this is the value that the user selects. So if the value is equal to Redmond, do this. If the value is equal to Seattle, do this. If the value is Kirkland, do this. That's basically what we are doing in this step. So now, this one, we picked Redmond. So if the option the user picked is Redmond, it should display this text, which is what it displayed here. And then the next thing is that it should go to end of conversation topic, which is why it's jumped to the next topic. So had it been we picked Seattle, it will go through this other route. If we had picked this one, that's the same thing, to just go here. So now you can see it jumps directly to end of conversation topic. Now in end of conversation topic, it just says, did that answer your question? So you can see that this guy is empty. It doesn't have trigger phrase because this topic is not triggered by trigger phrases. Instead, it's triggered because another topic called this topic. So that's why the trigger phrases here is empty. It doesn't have trigger phrases, but it still gets triggered when another topic calls it, when another topic links to it. It's like when you click on a link. Once you click on the link, it takes you to that website, it takes you to that location. That's the same way it brought us to this topic once we have that reference in a previous topic. So now, yeah, it just says this is another question. Did that answer your question? So we all know what Boolean is. Boolean is basically yes or no. So now you identify now, this is an entity type. So now if for instance we ask the question and we give the entity type age, so it's going to automatically store that data as maybe the age of a person, a place, or a thing. If you say Boolean, it knows automatically that we are expecting yes or no, most likely, or true or false from the user. So if you say city, then it's going to store it as a name of a city or a place. So basically, this is what we're talking about when I spoke about entities earlier. If it's an email, it's going to extract it like an email address, or it's going to store it like an email address. The same thing for number, money, language. So in this case, we have Boolean. So basically, our answer, you can see, did that answer your question? You can see that it shows yes or no automatically, because Boolean is a yes, no, true, false scenario. It has only two options. It's either it is yes or it is no. So if it's true, you can see it says redirect, so you're already redirecting it to another topic. If it's false, you're redirecting it to another topic. This topic is called confirmed success. This other one is called confirmed failure. Then sometimes it actually, Boolean also has this functionality to it too. It does this, it says all other conditions, but it has just two options here, which is yes and no, because it is Boolean. So most likely, that's, you can see that this was left empty, nothing was added here, because we will never have this scenario, because we have only two options here saying yes or no. So I'll just quickly go to another topic to explain. So now this topic has it has a condition. So this is topic 3. It has a condition, it has variables, it has prebuilt entity. Sorry, it's loading.
Hello, sorry, please, I'm not hearing anything.
Oh, I wasn't saying anything. Just a moment, please. Sorry. Okay, so yes, we have this topic all loaded. So topic 3 now, we've gone through this topic before, which was other product, was what you said. It said, I'm happy to help you place your order. What state would you be shipping? So you can see the states. Let me just check here. I actually want to go to the state entity. Can you see? Can you see the values that are here?
Yes.
Yeah, so you can see that United States, okay. So these are the states that have been here before. So basically, with this, it's not going to, is most likely not going to identify a state in Nigeria. Mm, let me just go back to where I was. Topics. I think we were on this one. Okay. So now you can see we have different options. If the state selected was California, we have one condition, which is here. If it was Washington, we have this. If it was Oregon, we have this. Then if it was something else, we'll tell them that there will be an additional shipping charge of this. Is that acceptable? Then you say yes or no. Then based on what they say. So if they say yes, you come here. If they say no, you say thank you, please come again. Well, let me try to okay, so let me enter a condition that would allow this trigger. So we can see it in action. So it said to what state would you be shipping? So you can see the options that we have here. So I'll just say Washington. No, I'll say Oregon. Type. So you can see from here it went here. This thing is not navigating to this one, it passed directly to this one.
Have you picked the state? I can't see where you picked the state, please.
See where I picked the state here. It said to what state would you be shipping? I picked the state here. So instead of it giving you blocks like this, it allows you type whatever, right? Do you get?
No, I didn't get this last part.
Okay. So you can see the difference is this. It just asks you a question and say to what state would you be shipping? And it identifies the entity as state. But it doesn't give you predefined options. Do you get? So because there's no predefined options, you can pick whatever, you can type in whatever you like. So I typed in this state here on the left. This is my chat interface. This one is just like showing what is happening on the background, right? So it's not like when
Okay,
you
I didn't notice that place on the left. So that's where you type in.
yes, this is where I typed it in. So it's not like when your users are using the Power Virtual Agent, they'll be seeing all this. They won't see all of this. This is the only thing they will see, just this chat window here. That's all they will see. So now I say, what item are you interested in purchasing? So now I have these options here: desktop computer, laptop computer, gaming computer. So I can choose whatever one I want. So I'll choose laptop computer. So now, after picking laptop computer, it says great choice for the on the go road warrior. Excuse me. I'm adding laptop computer to your cart. To complete your order, please go to your cart. Thank you. Did that answer your question? I can decide to say yes or I say no. So let's look at what happened here. Oh, okay. You can see it has gone to another topic already. So let me click on this. So when you are trying to see the flow on this tree, you can click on anything on the left here to take you back to the previous topic and look at it step by step. So now great. So see this is the point where it says great choice and it says I'm adding. So now this item here, this is a variable that got stored when I entered this laptop computer. So as I clicked on laptop computer, Power Virtual Agent knows that, oh, I will need this thing later. So it will just save my input or save whatever I had selected there. So that's why here it's showing PVA item. This PVA item is just like a container that holds the option that I had earlier picked. So that you can see that here it shows it laptop computer because I had chosen laptop computer here. So it just another text just says to complete your order, please go to your cart. Thank you. And then it navigates to this topic automatically. So now, did that answer your question? If I say yes, see, it has gone to another topic again. So now, did that answer your question? So you can see for Boolean, it always has true, false, and all other conditions. But you can always leave these all other conditions blank because most likely your is going to either be true or false. So now if I say yes, it goes to confirm success, which is another topic. And a confirmed success, it just tells you to rate your experience. So I can decide to rate a 4-star, or I can decide to rate something else. So now it just says, thank you for your feedback. Can I help with anything else? So I can say no thanks if that's all. And then it will say thank you for chatting with me. Bye. So you can see that the chatbot, the flow of the chatbot is also based on the user's input, it decides what is the next step to use based on what you already programmed the bot to do. So now let me go back to topics. Would probably create one topic. I know our time is fast spent and I wouldn't want to keep us longer than necessary. So let me look at this one. So one thing to note is when you are connecting a Power Virtual Agent to Power Automate, or when you are connecting Power Automate to Power Virtual Agent, either way, you have to ensure that the Power Automate has been created inside of a solution. If it is not in a solution, you would not see the Power Automate from here. So I would show you the difference soon. So now this is the fourth topic that we have. So now they created a custom entity somewhere here. Trying to look at it. Oh yes, this usage type is a custom entity that was created to hold data. Remember when we were going through the slides, when I spoke about entities, I said they are pre-built entities and they are also custom entities. Just in case the pre-built entities do not cover the scenario you're trying to work with on your Power Virtual Agent, you can always create a custom entity. So they did create one here, which is usage type. So basically it's still about, okay, so let's trigger this and see how it works. So it's also advisable that you feed your bot with as many trigger phrases as possible so that even if the customer types anything close to any of your trigger phrases, it automatically picks it up. So you can see here, I said, I am a user. It didn't pick it up. So I said a home user and it picks that up. So it triggers and asks me the question, Do you see yourself? Sorry. So I don't know. Something went wrong. It didn't bring up this part. I'll just do that again. Just a moment. Okay, so it's working well now. It skipped. Did you notice that it skipped this part before? This part is a question that says, do you see yourself as a home user, a gamer, or a business user? So when I select a gamer, then it should go to, sorry. When I select a gamer, it should go to the option that says equal to gamer. And then it goes down and says, we have the product for you. The Contoso laptop i7 has enough power and memory to let you play the latest games without missing a beat. So it asks me now, should I add this to your cart? And I'm like, no. So it has navigated to another topic. So it says understood. Please return when you are ready to buy our product. So because I said I should not add it to my cart, it automatically knows, oh, I'm not ready to buy yet. So it just tells me understood. Please return when you are ready to buy our products and takes me to this end of conversation topic. So I think we'll do one last thing before we go. I think we should try and create a topic of our own. So you can also edit topics. So for instance, if I were to edit this topic now, you can see when I click on this ellipsis, it says delete, skip question, or new comments. So I can actually do any of this, or I can come to the very bottom. So in this case, it's navigating to another topic. So I can delete this guy, but I don't want to delete it. I'd rather use a new topic to demonstrate what it is I want to demonstrate. So I'll go back to topics. So you can see this button here that says new topics. Also, you can see this is a greeting topic. So one thing you cannot do is all these system topics. So you see these ones here, it says always on, always on, always on. It means you cannot turn it off. But for the user topics, you can turn them off anytime you like by clicking on this button, and then it turns off. You click on this, it's loading, it's turned off. You can click on it back and it turns on. Sorry. Okay, click on this and it goes back on. So now I think what we are going to do is let's see. Let's see. Let me create a new topic. I'll just name this guy Say Test. So if we want to add trigger phrases, we can add them here. So so I just want to create this topic just to demonstrate the different things you can do inside of a chatbot. Time might not permit us to do everything, but I'll just like to show us the basics. So I can say search. Do you see it has added this? I can say find name. I can say you can give me options of things that we can add.
Look up.
Sorry?
Look up.
Log up.
Oh, look. Sorry. LOOK. Look up.
Oh, yeah. Look up. Okay. Okay, so let's just use this. So you can see that it even tells you that trigger phrases. So trigger phrases is just like training the bot to know when to trigger a specific topic. So you advise, yeah, we're always advised that we add between 5 to 10 short trigger phrases to help the bot. So we have like 5. So I'll just leave it at that. I can close this. And note that you can save it once you are done editing a specific topic. It's best to save the topic. Now it says my topic has 1 error, so I'll say cancel. Reason being that it has a message here and it's blank. And I'll just say what would oh sorry. Really, it can be anything. Welcome to my Finder. Doesn't make so much sense, but this is just a text. You're just displaying text. So now, if you were to add new cards, you click on this plus icon. So now you can see we have different options. We have ask a question. We have call and action. Call and action is specifically for Power Automate flows. So this is how we connect Power Automate flows here. So now you see it says no actions found. This is because, I had explained, not necessarily because I don't have any flow in this environment, but because, I had explained earlier that for your Power Virtual Agent to work with any Power Automate flow, it has to be inside of a solution. Now, I would show you what a solution looks like. It's basically like a container that can house different components. Now, components in this sense means it could be a Power Virtual Agent, it could be a Power Automate, it could be a flow. In fact, it could be an entity, it could be really anything. So we can also have show a message. This is show a message. This portion here is the show a message. So you can see that we have redirect to another topic. So you can always send it to another topic. So this will list all of the topics that you have already created. So you can actually tell it to link up to another topic. So you can just scroll through that. I've selected something by mistake, so I'll just delete that because I don't need that there. So now we also have end the conversation. So we have end with a survey. We also have transfer to agent. However, to actually do the transfer to agent, you would need to have configured Dynamics 365. You need to configure this using Omnichannel. I'll just leave that part out and delete. So now I think we've basically seen a good number of all of this in action, except for call and action. So I would show you how to use call and action since we already went through the others. So there are 2 ways. You can either go to a solution, create a Power Automate flow, and then save it, then come back here and you find it here. Or you can as well just click on create a flow from here, and then it launches the Power Automate in another window, which is much easier. I'll just do that. So you see it launches Power Automate for me. It's loading. Just give me a moment. Okay. So now, I know this looks like it just looks like the regular Power Automate interface, but I want you to take a look at this, at the URL. You can see it says emir flow microsoft.com, blah, blah, blah. It says manage, it says environment. This is your default environment. But what I want you to note is this guy here that says solutions. This automatically tells you that when you click on that button, it opens up to create a flow inside of a solution. So that's the reason why I mentioned earlier that only flows within a solution are going to show up in your Power Virtual Agent. So I want to duplicate this page just to show something. So I'm going to go to my flows. Of course, you know my flows are a list of my flows, not necessarily a list of my flows that are inside the solution. It's just flows. So you can see that in the URL, there's no longer solution, which means this is not inside of a solution. You can see, of course, I have one Power Automate flow here, but it doesn't show up inside of my Power Virtual Agent because it is not inside of the solution. So I'll just go back to this tab and continue creating my Power Automate flow. So now there are different options. I said we can actually pass in data from Power Virtual Agents into Power Automate flow. So for instance, I can pass in a text and maybe call this name. Then add an action. Let me see what I can use. Office 365 users. So when you're using a connector for the first time, usually it brings up this and tells you to sign into that connector rather. Um, I don't think this is what I wanted, so I'll just delete. I'm looking for something easy I can use to demonstrate passing in data from Power Virtual Agent to Power Automate. Let me look for something else. Uh, get user exactly. Search strings. So this one. So now what I'm trying to do here is I pass in a name from Power Virtual Agents, right? I'll use that name to search for the specific user. Then I want to also return a value. I also want to return a value back to Power Virtual Agents. Let me see. Um, so now I want to return the email. I hope these things are actually enabled or entered. I want to return the email of that specific user. As usual. Okay. Ah. Sorry. Okay. So yeah, basically I'm trying to return this email of whatever user we are searching for. Then I can decide to add an action like sending an email. Uh, okay, for now, I'm just going to use my email address. Better still, use, yep, this one. I'll just say test. Okay, so I'll just save this. So one thing to note also is you cannot test, you cannot manually test a flow that is connected to Power Virtual Agents. You know, regularly we have this test here in Flow. Aha. I'll just take this guy out. So take it here. Okay. I have to remove this in order to bring it out. Different things. No. Okay. And delete this. Just delete. Okay, so I'll just type in something here. Might not be able to embed this into Teams today. Perhaps next week when we are doing questions and answers and just doing a bit of more practical stuff. If we have the time, then we can do that next week. But let me just show these bits and then we can end the class. Okay. So let me try and save now and see. It says saving. You can also change the name here. So now this is what I was trying to say. You can see that it's not possible to test this flow from here. The only way is once you've added it to the Power Virtual Agents, you trigger it from here. So now I'll try to add a node and say call an action and allow it load. So can you see that this flow we just created, it now shows here because it was created inside of a solution. So now, because we are passing in a value, let me show you. I can close this, I don't need it anymore. So because we are requiring a value, sorry, here, called name, This will automatically mean that you have to pass in a value from Power Virtual Agents into the Power Automate flow. That's the reason why it says Power Automate inputs gets value from. So it's asking you where should it get its value from. So you can see there's nothing here. So that would mean that you know that you have to ask the user for a value. So the way to do that is I can say ask a question, right? And I would say enter, for instance, I can say enter a name, right? So now I don't want multiple choice options. I want a name. So I'll look for the entity that is name and just enter that person's name and just enter that quietly. So now you can see it automatically creates a variable for us which says var person name. So now whatever value the user enters here is going to get stored in this var person name. And it is this variable that I want to pass into Power Automate. So here, I'll just come here and select this variable. So now you can see the name of this variable is just var. I want to also put person name so that it's not just generic. The reason why you can see person name here is because the entity type is person name. So yeah, I'll just name it var person. So now you can see it has some settings here. Usage, do you want it to be limited to just this test topic, or you want it to be able to be seen in other topics too? So if I click bot, it means any topic in this bot can see it. So I would say external sources can set values. So it really depends. It really boils down to what you are trying to achieve. If you are sure that you don't need this variable outside this topic, you can decide to limit it to the topic. But if you know that you might need this in other topics as well, then you can say, oh, it should be used by the whole bot. So I'll leave it at that. I'll just close this, right? So here I would see my bot var person, and I'll just select that. So now you can see this is the Power Virtual Agent. I'm returning a value. So Power Automate is supposed to return a value to this called user because I named it user. There, I'll leave it at that. So yeah, I'll just show a message that would show the value that the Power Automate is returning. So I can now say your email is. So now I will just add this variable here. So you can see this. This is to insert variable. This is to insert a link. This is to format your text and all of that. So I'll just click on this. So you can see I don't want to put the var person. I want the output from flow, which is user. So I'm just going to enter user here, but I need to put a space here. So I'll save this quickly. If you notice, I've not published anything since because I'm just testing it inside of here. Okay, so let's quickly run through this topic and test our topic. So I'm just going to do something simple. Look up. So it says, welcome to my Finder. Enter a name. I'll just enter my name. So now it's going to run this Power Automate flow and tell me your email is the value it got from the Power Automate flow. So you can see in a split second, it gives me my value, which was in this Power. So if you look at your Power Automate now, you'll see that it runs successfully, this one. So this is how you can actually integrate. So I did something really, really basic. It doesn't even scratch what you can do with Power Automate embedded in Power Virtual Agents, but I just wanted to demonstrate how you can use Power Automate with Power Virtual Agents. So you see, it gives me the value back here. So now to publishing, anytime you make changes, you always should publish your latest channel. Okay, so I'll say go to channel. So now you can see these are multiple channels available that you can add your bot to. But I'm going to say demo websites. So just copy this link, right? Go to your browser, enter that link. It creates a demo website for you with your chatbot there. So this is just like a demo website. You can see my chatbot name, Lily. So I can come here now and try to chat with my chatbot. I can say hello, say hi, I'm a virtual agent, blah, 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 blah. So this topic that gets triggered is one of those pre-built topics. So what can I help you with today? So I will do the same lookup that we did earlier. So welcome to my finder, enter a name. I will say peace. And now it answers me. And basically that is it. So you can see that this is working even outside of our interface where we built it. So that's what demo website is, just to test it outside of this interface. So I think I would have to stop here for today, but quickly let's look at analytics. So yeah, this is summary. We've not used this bot at all, as we just created it today. So you might not see a lot of action in here. Yep, you won't see a lot of action in here. But you see, we have just one session. You won't see a lot of action in here because we just created these bots. And then there's not a lot of data. But assuming you have a bot which you've had for a while and you've been using, then you would see a lot of analytics here. Yeah, this is how it actually loads. Let's just hold on for a minute for this to load. Please, in the meantime, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me before we close the class for today. So you can see everything is still 00000 because we've not done a lot so far.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, I got a bit confused towards the end, and I wasn't clear on how you moved from this page to the preview when you concluded to look at the
Oh,
chatbot.
okay. That's this one, right?
Yes, I didn't quite get how you got here. And then the last test, the last option that you used to build the last part was a bit confusing, where you were trying to pull up the email address and all that. So
Oh,
I
okay.
think I got confused at that portion.
All right, sorry. Maybe I was trying to be fast. So you can see this thing that says, so now I've published, right? You know, we said initially that we can actually add it to Facebook, add it to Teams, add it to a couple of other applications or to our website. So Power Virtual Agent has a demo site where you can test your bots. So it's just going to look like a regular website with just your bot on it where you can test. And that is what this is, right? So to get the link to that website, after you've published, just you can actually even see it here. After you publish, you can try out your bot on the demo website. So you can either click here and say open link in new tab, or you can just copy the link and go and open. Or you can even say go to channels, then go to demo website and open it. Then you copy the link, which is what I actually did. Once you copy this link, you can come here, paste it, and then it will load like a demo web page for you with your bot already embedded in that demo page. So now you can chat with the with the bot the same way we were able to chat with the bot inside of this canvas. So that's what I did basically. So I said hello, and it gave me some responses, and I just wanted to trigger the topic we created. So I said look up, and then it says welcome to my finder, enter a name, and I said peace. And then it sent me that email which I already had in my Power Automate. So you also mentioned something about, is this clear, or is there any part you want me to explain?
This is clear.
Okay, but you understood how we
So you either use the publish button, or you go to manage and click channels, and it will show you where the demo website is, right? Then you click on it.
Yes, exactly.
And then when it opens up, you copy the link into a blank web page, right?
Yes, but you can easily just click on this demo website here. This makes it much easier. So you can just click on this demo website here. That makes it much easier to use.
I'm sorry, I just got lost when you went to call action. I understand all this part, but from that call action, I
Call
was like,
action,
okay, how did
right?
you, yes,
Okay.
where
Let me
did,
go back.
it's as if you were trying to get some things. So I just got
Yeah.
confused.
So
So
what I
that
wanted
part
to do
confused
was
me.
this. I wanted us to build a system where maybe I type a name, right? It goes to maybe it goes to the tenant and searches for the email of that person. That was what I was trying to do. Let me open this topic so I'll show you. But you understand how I did the call and action, right?
When
What
you
you're
got to that call action, that was just that part that confused me.
Okay, so this is it. So if you say you click on like
Yes.
this plus button,
Yes.
so you see call and action here.
Yes.
Then it will load any Power Automate flow that you have inside of the solution, right? So initially we only had the option to create a flow. And
Yes.
I explained that the reason we had just that was because we did not have any already built Power Automate flow that
Yes.
is inside of a solution. Because for the flow to work with Power Virtual Agent, it has to be inside of a solution.
Yes, I
So
get
now if
that.
you look at this one, yes, if you look at this one that we built, it is actually inside of a solution. So how you will know is this: if you go to solutions.
Okay, so from that call action, I have to go to my solutions from Power Automate.
Yeah, from Power Virtual Agent. But to make it easy, I just click on create a flow. It just goes directly into the
Okay,
solution. Yeah,
perfect.
just click on
Okay,
this create a flow. It will just go exactly where you need to be. In fact, it
okay,
will add the beginning and ending card for you. So you
perfect.
can
Okay.
just add whatever you want to do in between here and
Oh, okay,
save.
okay.
But if you want to change the name of the flow, you can change it here. So for now, we can say PVA
Oh, okay.
test flow, for instance. But ensure you do this change of name before you save.
Okay.
Yeah. So now, for instance, just I didn't add anything, right? And I'll just click save.
Okay.
Hello? Hello?
I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, sorry, my network tripped off. Can you still see my screen?
Yeah,
Yes, I can see.
your flow
Oh,
is ready to go. We recommend you test it.
wow, thank you. Okay, so now you see I've saved this flow. I didn't change anything. I just saved the flow. So I'll go back to my Power Virtual Agents where we clicked on Create Flow. So now you can see that it's not showing here yet because I've already loaded. It's going to only show the flows that were already in a solution as at when I loaded this. So if I actually want this thing to reload, I just need to I've not created anything yet. Just click on this again and go back to call and action. You see it will load. And in this process of loading, it will pick the new flow that I just created. So you can see it has picked it. In fact, it picked it twice.
Okay. Yeah, I
So you
get
can see
now.
my new flow is now available. So if I wanted to use
Okay.
this, I can just select this. So now you can see it is not giving me any option to put in an input or an output because I did not add input or output in the flow. Where is it? You see, I did not add any input and I did not add any output. So that's the reason why here it's not giving me any option for input and output. It's just showing the flow there. So it will just, had it been added other actions in between that first and last card, it will just run all those actions. It doesn't have any feedback. So it doesn't have anything is adding to this process per se. So it's not going to get any input from the Power Virtual Agent and it is not
Yeah.
returning any input back to Power Virtual
Okay.
Agent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can
Okay.
you
Thank
repeat
you.
this
Thank
again and then add an action in between? Because that's
Of
where I
course.
also got lost.
Of course. So what I'll do is this. So I'll delete this, right? And just go back to call and action. So now I'll say create a flow, right? It will create yet another flow, but we'll use the name. So I'm going to name this one actions so that we know that this is the one where we added an action. So sorry, the easiest action to add is sending an email. Just say accept. Okay, please, what's your email address so you receive the email while we test it? Hello?
You can drop the email address in the chat window.
Chat box here. So I'll just pick it from there.
Okay, I dropped it in the chat box.
All right, I'll pick it now. Okay. Oh, seems just copied everything. Okay, just a moment. Let me copy it. Let me paste it on sticky notes and pick out just what I need.
Okay, as you're doing that, I was going to add my own, but it's showing me just number, text, and there's no email in my own.
Where?
When I wanted to add input.
Okay, just give me a moment. Okay. Now, I'll save this. So you can see we named this one action, right? So you said yours is showing you
Text, yes, stroke, no, and number. That's all.
is it possible for you to share your screen?
Yeah, let me see.
Okay.
Uh,
In the meantime, let me just add that flow that we just created. So
okay.
you can see it here. It shows actions. So I'm just going to
Yeah.
add. You can see there's no input or output, but we have an action in between. So what I will do is I will save this flow, right?
Oh.
I'll save it. Sorry, save the topic. I said I'll save this flow. I'm used to flow. I'll save the topic. I'll go to my publish and publish it. Yep, publish content. Then I'll go to that my website and just reload, and then I'll run it again. So it might not say anything, but we'll know that it ran. We'll go and check the flow. So look up. There you. Sorry, what just happened? Look up. It's catching the information. Uh-huh. I have multiple open. So I'll come back here and just click here. Okay, so I'll say look up. So it says enter a name. I'll say peace. So now this is another topic that got triggered. But to understand what happened, let's check our flow. I think this flow failed. Let's see. Exactly. Uh, so you can see the reason why this connector is not working. So what I'm going to do is I'll just delete this guy and replace it with something else. There are other send email connectors. So I'll use my Outlook, Office 365 Outlook, send an email. Then I'll paste the email address and just hit paste and test and save. So sometimes when you make changes to your flow that is connected to Power Virtual Agents, sometimes it actually does break. So what I like to do is I like to just to refresh. I just like to delete this card. It's not compulsory, but me, I just use that as best practice to be sure that the flow is up to date, or what is speaking is up to date. So I'm just going to add it back. Then I'll save this topic. I'll still look at the issue you had that you said you're not able to see email, that you're not able to see some entities. Let me just round up with this
I
part.
can see it now. Thank
Oh,
you.
you can see it now.
Yes, yes.
All right, that's great. So I'll just publish again. Then I'll go to the demo website, allow it load, and then I'll test it again. So you can see it says your email is this. it doesn't say anything else because in our topic here, we didn't tell it to do it. We only told it to run the flow. The only thing that will make anything display is things like this message when you're asking a question. Running a Power Automate flow is like a back-end process. So it's not going to, the only reason why we saw this guy here is because I displayed the message. So how do we know that this action actually ran? We can go back to the flow itself, which is this one. We should see a successful run. So you can check if you got an email from us saying test. So you can see that it ran successfully. So you should have gotten that email. The email will just say test. Can you check, please? Can you check this email?
Okay, let me check.
All right, thank you.
Nothing yet.
Nothing yet.
No.
You can also check junk just in case.
Okay, I've seen it.
You've seen it now?
Yes.
Just says test.
Yes.
So now we can, you see, we've confirmed that this flow actually ran, even though it did not say anything on the front end because we did not tell it to say anything. So this is basically how Power Virtual Agents work. This is something we can actually customize to have much more functionality than we did. We just tried to look at the basics because we had a really short time to do this. Are there any other questions?
We can barely hear you. We can't hear you clearly. You're not audible enough.
Are you hearing me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay, I said I have a question on. I want to ask, how do you embed a chatbot from Power Visual Agents into a website? Do you have to like the way you did it for the demo website? Is that the way to do it, or you have to add it to your code?
I think you need to add it. So this is how you go. Okay. So just go to your publish, right? Go to channels. So now you can see it is available on your own custom website. So can you see it says you just copy this code snippets and paste it in your HTML.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you very much, Peace. If there are no more questions, I want to quickly make this announcement. Our next class is going to be more of a question and answer class. That's going to be the last class for this course. It's going to be more of a question and answer class and a show or app display class. So you are going to show us you are going to demo what you have been able to work on, and we're going to attend to people's questions and give them answers. I don't know if everyone got me.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining today's class.